My new book is out, Select Protectors Security Squad number 6, Protecting BRIANA. And that book features Max and BRIANA. I really like the couple, but now I'm working on a new book in the series called Protecting Tamara. So I've been working on what makes these two people fall in love with each other, what draws them together, what pushes them apart. And I've been also doing a lot of work with how to reach deeper into the hero's psyche, because he is pretty troubled. He had a really yucky background, even though he was living in the perfect family. And so I've been exploring the concept of legacy in this book. And what does legacy mean? What does legacy mean by dictionary standards? It's something handed down from an ancestor, a predecessor, or from the past. That could be money, property, an item of some kind that's special and meaningful, or a lasting tradition or morality. And certainly we have evidence of our own legacies around this house, whether they came from our family or they came from are going to go to our daughter in the future. One of the things I have is a beautiful sewing box, a teakwood sewing box that's engraved from Indonesia, and that belonged to my Oma, and I find it is a very special piece to me because it holds many meaningful memories for me. I've been using it as my happy box, and it's in my office, and I absolutely love it. It's the perfect way to remember a wonderful, endearing woman who survived a lot of terrible things in the wars, who raised children on her own, who traveled extensively between the Netherlands and Indonesia, and managed to teach piano and voice lessons and taught elementary school. She raised 3 children, and she was a phenomenal Oma. I cannot say enough good about her. So having this tangible memory of her is really important to me. But what's more important to me is the memories I have of sitting next to her, hearing her stories about when they were in the camps in Indonesia. I love hearing her stories about how they got through those days, and just her genuine love for me and my family was palpable. And that is a lasting legacy that's symbolic and moral to me, and I think almost more important. So I have those, and then I have from my dad, I have many of his watercolor paintings, his calligraphy. I have pictures of him working on his artwork, and those are very tangible memories that I have, memory legacies that I have from my father. And from my parents, I have the example of a strong marriage, and a strong marriage is something that I work on a lot. So I have the picture of their marriage. It was a very strong marriage. They were very committed to each other. So that was a good way to learn how to be married. Whether or not I agreed with all their decisions and how they treated me as a human being, I still respect how much they respected and loved each other throughout the best of times, the worst of times, the happiest of times, the saddest of times. So that's a good legacy to carry forward internally. So that is with me as well. I still have many memories of also another legacy that they gave me, which is the love of learning, the love of exploring, and curiosity. Both of them were very curious people. They were very interested in other people. They were very interested in learning about things. They were avid readers. They loved great music. They stayed on top of all the different aspects of the social world that they were in. They ran a bed and breakfast for several years. So they really taught me how to be curious and to continue to learn. And that's a legacy that is modeled where I'm coming from. And most of the time, I don't go too deep into everything that I'm writing, but this is so tied to who I am as a human being that I thought I'd share it with you. One of the little examples I got from my own book that I'm working on is symbolic is a love without illusion, something that, it's not sugar-coated, it's not pretend, it's not about appearances, it's just love. It's plain, simple love. There are no hidden agendas or strings attached to love. There can be mistakes made in love, but at the end of the day, if you really care about someone, and if you really care about their people, you're going to treat them all with as much love and respect and kindness and compassion and empathy as you can possibly do so. And if you don't have that ability, then you can't really explore love the way that, then maybe you're not even capable of love. I don't know. I have run into a few people like that, and I kind of feel sorry for them because they don't know what it's like to try to be the best person that you can be. Even if you're not always the best person, you can still try. We all make mistakes. We all fall over our own feet. We all stumble. But the legacy is we pick up ourselves and we keep on moving and we keep on trying to be better people. That doesn't mean we always are able to rectify justify and atone for our mistakes with everybody that we have made mistakes with. But if we don't go into a relationship intending to harm people, then I think that even those mistakes can be forgiven, whether or not you had to apologize in person. I think that's really important. I don't enter into any relationship intending to harm anyone, and I hope most of you don't. I hope all of you don't do that. So basically for me, it's the intention. And yeah, as my dad used to say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but we do try our best to be good people around here, and 9 times out of 10 we succeed and we get A's for our days, and sometimes we don't get A's. Sometimes we get C's or D's, and I won't call it an F, but we've come close a couple of times. We're not always at our best, and we're human, so we make mistakes. It's reality. But for the most part, we try to carry on that legacy of curiosity, learning, loving and respecting each other's choices, supporting our daughter and her choices, supporting her and her relationship in a positive manner, because that's the legacy I want to leave behind for her. I want her to say at the end of the day, my mom and dad supported me and loved me through everything. And even though they weren't perfect, they did the best they could. And I love them. And I hope she misses us when we're gone, because we aren't going to be here forever. So symbolic, love is without illusion. Tangible, something that's real, like the sewing box that I have, or the pictures that I received from my father, or the calligraphy, or photo albums, or memories like recipes. I've given away a bunch of recipes to the career girl and her guy, and I attached them to a crock pot that I gave them, well, the physicist and I gave it to them for Christmas. And I had, in all of those recipes, I had copied them from the recipes I used. So I had my notes in there, like, this was really good. My daughter really liked this. We made it on such and such date. I added this or that, or I substituted X. So that's my handwriting on there. That's my messy splotches. That's part of the legacy. So, and then the other one is, to me, the morality. What did the person believe in, and how did they enact that belief in their day-to-day life? So I'm exploring those different elements with my hero, Wyatt. He is just struggling to believe he deserves to be with this beautiful woman, and Tamara's going to teach him a few lessons in love. So that's what I've been working on here lately, is legacy and writing the book and letting it come to life. The thing is, I think that for myself, my golden rule is I'm going to try to be a positive person, a good influence in people's lives. If I'm not feeling at my best, I might hidey away a little bit, because it's no point in me being out there if I'm not in my best mood. But I also think it's good to show vulnerability and to let people know that it's okay if you're having a bad day. You have to have a few friends that you can talk to about things, or your partner, your significant others, and that helps with those bad days. So, but my main priority is to leave a positive legacy behind, and hopefully less negative stuff will be following me to the great unknown. In my book, like I said, it's a combination of, he's going to discover a legacy that he didn't realize existed, or that he thought might have existed, but he was always kind of gaslit about it. And so he never really knew whether or not his real mother loved him, his biological mother. Unfortunately, his stepmother is straight out of the fairy tales, just not a good person, has created a legacy of destruction and ruptures and control and falsehoods and all kinds of little nasty little tricks that she has done to pull the wool over her husband's eyes, his father's eyes, from seeing the truth about her, because she has nothing internal inside of her driving her other than she's just got to look good. Everything is about winning, and everything is about she is the one in charge, because she never had anything growing up, and so she's kind of empty inside. She's like a shell person who can only derive satisfaction out of manipulating and controlling other people. And I find that a lot of times when people are themselves inauthentic and very shallow and all about appearances, they tend not to like authentic people, because it's a reflection of what they don't have inside themselves, that they don't have that grounding force. So I like to explore those kind of things in my books. I mean, they're romances, but they're emotionally driven stories. I like to explore those kind of things so that I can work through my own feelings about when I've been treated negatively, my feelings about myself when I've not been at my best. And I like to pour those things into my writing. In other news, I am like major leaguey busy. I have a little secret to share in another week. I've been working on a super secret thing behind the scenes that is absolutely zero to do with writing, zero to do with learning about writing, and zero to do about marketing my writing or my books or anything like that. It is like a completely new adventure, and I'm super excited about it. I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I'm super excited about it. So I'm really looking forward to exploring this new little avenue that I'm going down, and I can't wait to share the details with you probably next week. I might pop in and do a short video if I get a chance to share it with you, but it's something that I had a wild hair about several months ago, and I followed up on it, and lo and behold, it's coming true. So stay tuned for that. So I'm working on my books, I'm writing, I'm marketing. I have a sale coming up in a little while, so I have to get ready for that. But I have my super secret project. And that is also in alignment with my transformation, which I'm hoping as a legacy to my followers and to my family. I'm showing them that, you can be in your 60s and still be vibrant and have fun and change and transform yourself and become the best possible person that you can be inside and out, no matter how old you are. So this is also in tandem with the transformation of myself physically, which has been going really well. I just tried on a couple of shirts and they're going to Goodwill because they're too big. I'm swimming in them. So I have to do another try on and decide whether or not I'm going to keep things. So in a way, that's kind of like life. Sometimes you have to try on different things and see whether or not they work for you. And if they don't work, then you can say, well, I tried it and now I'm moving on. Or sometimes you try new things and you discover that, hey, this is really fun and I really want to do it. And it's enhancing my life in a positive way. So I'm going to keep doing it. And it isn't always about the rewards or success or money. It's truly for me about being a person who is willing to stretch outside her comfort zone just a little and try new things so that she can explore new avenues and discover new facets about myself. And that's the fun part of being a human being. We have minds and souls and hearts, and if we're willing to stretch ourselves, we can discover new aspects about ourselves, even into our whatever. I hope I keep discovering new things about myself until I'm no longer able to discover things about myself. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and follow me if you'd like. I've enjoyed doing the little videos. I've enjoyed learning how to edit them, and I'm going to share my news with you maybe by the end of this week.